how sweet it is. It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for the number one source of all things WWE. It is time for the Rawdown. I am one of the hosts, the one and the only BoneyCon J-Bone. And with me is Chick-fil-A's own, the MVP, Marco. What's up, Marco?
Not too much, man. I think we're down a man.
I know, man. It feels so much lighter. So young Anthony, he'll be in just a little bit. I think he's picking his nose or whatever like kids do these days. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Eating his boogers, whatever.
Getting his diapers changed.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what those kids do, you know. But we got a little business to take right up in front of the show. We got to crown a champion, so
yep.
Let's get to it.
And now, the Rawdown presents the crowning ceremony for the Rawdown Championship.
The recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Well, the champion of the world in baseball. The Houston Astros, baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Clap it up.
It's not those scrubs in Flushing, New York with the Mets. It's definitely not those scrubs in Bronx. It's not the scrubs in Philadelphia. You know, it's the one and only Houston Astros, your 2022 World Series baseball champions. Great job, guys.
Even though they didn't cheat their way there. Yeah, I know it's they did it on the up and up. That's what matters.
Of course they did. they did it on the up and up in 2017.
True.
Too, because everybody was cheating. Yeah. So that's
it
was
an even playing field.
Fair. It was even playing field, pal. Okay. Anthony won the championship this weekend. Yep, moving on.
Exactly.
Moving on. Hey, you snooze, you lose, pal.
Exactly.
You miss out on I control your destiny as far as the championship ceremony when you're not here. So, good job, Houston Astros, baby. All right. Let's talk about Crown Jewel. Pretty interesting event. Personally, I think it was probably the worst out of the premium live events this year.
Wow.
Yeah. But I've got something to say at the end. I don't know, man. It just didn't draw me in. I don't know. I don't know if it was just too predictable or what it was. I don't know. I mean, the women's match was good. The main event was very good. What's your take on it, Marco, overall?
It wasn't anything like it wasn't like the spectacle that it was last year. Definitely compared to last year's Crown Jewel, this one definitely paled in comparison. But you're right. There were the matches were good. I think it was just what happened within those matches that kind of whether it be like we kind of touched on the Chick-fil-A show this. We did it like that same night.
Right.
But yeah, we kind of touched on it with like the last woman standing match. Like that should have been a lot more. Obviously they're in a different country, right. So they probably can't get as violent as we would like on these parts because us Americans, we love violence. Just that match right there. It's a last woman standing match, so you're expecting like everything, including the kitchen sink, to happen. But it was almost like cartoony in a sense. Right. So like, and then like the opening match with Brock and Bobby, that was like that match could have been so. It could have been so good, but it seemed like it was just rushed.
I just knew. I knew it. I did go. Just real quick. I did not do good on the picks, and I knew it wasn't. I was just trying to make things interesting. Because if you notice, Marco, in the Chick-fil-A pick league, I picked way different picks.
Oh yeah.
One thing I did get correct. It was like 5-minute match.
Yes, you were right.
Just yeah, nothing spectacular there. But I do want to talk about the main event real quick because that was the most interesting, and I do have a bit of a hot take.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
This might be my biggest personal hot take. All right, like meaning like this is a big deal for me. All right, because I don't eat my words very often, but I have to say, Logan Paul is a freaking star.
That's I'm at a loss of words right now. I wasn't expecting. I thought you were gonna like crap on the match. I'm
gonna actually double down on the Logan Paul situation. Because I got it. Boom, like right then and there, I got it.
Yep,
he could be a future world champion one day.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not it's not impossible. I mean, it could happen. It's a possibility, man.
Yeah.
I mean, especially judging from that match, man. This is his third match, and he just seems to get better each match that he has. Like this match right here showed that he definitely, like you said, he definitely is a star. He's athletic as hell. He can pull off the high flying moves if he needs to. He can pull off the mat work if he needs to. He was an amateur wrestler as well. I mean, the kid's an all around athlete. I mean, I know we kind of like in the beginning, knowing that you didn't really like him, breaking kayfabe. I was, pushing Logan Paul as like this like next big thing, and obviously just like that dude sucked. But at the same time, some truth and jest, and he is good, man. Like that you can't deny that. I mean, if you can make, good. He made Roman Reigns look strong, which is even crazier. Like. Like they worked off each other. They made each other look good, but like he was an awesome opponent for Roman Reigns. It didn't seem like Roman Reigns was carrying him at all through the match. It was almost like they were almost equals in equal footing. It was good, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
5 stars for me.
For me, I mean, when like Logan Paul, I didn't think he could wrestle or whatever, but it was more of like some of the stuff he did in his personal business, even before, or not even personal business, even so much, even what he did on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh God, but I've given him a chance. I've listened to his podcast, I actually watched it on YouTube, didn't listen to it, but anyways, same difference, right? Because we do the same thing. And he's actually changed my opinion on him quite a bit. So there's some things he said like I was surprised. I was like, wow, okay. And like that Shawn Michaels, I don't know if you've watched that Shawn Michaels interview. It's really good, actually.
Yeah.
That's where some of it kind of changed my mind on him. But he knows how to tell a story. He knows how to sell.
Yep. Yeah.
Like for someone that's in their third match ever, like. He could be like now. I know he's got other endeavors, and I get that.
Yep.
But I mean, like, let's just say he was like nobody knew who this guy was, Logan Paul. Boom, like third match, kind of like a Kurt Angle situation, right?
Yeah.
Which people knew. Some people knew who Kurt Angle was, but regardless, like he could be like, honestly, he could be like a generational talent. He's that good,
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is like you said, him being a world champion. That's actually possible. Like I could definitely see him, wearing that belt and wearing it proudly. Like the dude's he's pretty much a mega star. Like, I mean, we don't have to go. What does he have? Like over 40 million followers or something like that.
Right.
Like, and he's global. I mean, that's the other thing. Like that we got to talk about that. Like he was being cheered during the match, and Roman Reigns was being booed. And but the great thing about it was Roman Reigns being who he was playing to it. Like when people would like cheer Logan, he'd like look around like what you cheering for him and not for me, you tribal chief, like that thing. Like
that's why Roman's so good too.
Yeah, and it wasn't like he was trying to take anything away from Logan Paul. He was trying to make Logan Paul as legit a threat to his reign as possible. Like it wasn't like obviously he wasn't taking him serious. If you because I watched this match, like I kind of told you off here, like I've watched this match like I don't know how many times so far for the past week because my son is like in love with.
No,
Roman
you're a
Reigns,
big
so, like,
Logan Paul, Mark. It's
yeah,
fine.
I mean that is true too. I do love some Logan Paul, but like just watching the different like nuances and stuff that happened throughout the match, like the way Roman Reigns goes from this like get out of here, kid, you're not gonna do anything to me, to the end of the match where he's just like, holy shit, I almost like came within like seconds of losing everything. Like this guy almost came in out of nowhere. Like just the storytelling, like you said, the storytelling was great. The buckshot lariat, I mean.
Dude, he did it better. He did it better than Hangman.
Yeah, it was near perfect.
He did it better
Like,
than
CM Schmuck, as Seth would call him,
Cookie Monster Punk.
But yeah, man, that's just that the frog splash, holding the phone, doing the live stream. That was pretty amazing. Like the dude's good, dude. He was doing freaking like he was doing like it wasn't a Northern Light suplex, side suplex. Like the side suplex he threw down on Roman Reigns looked legit. Like, man, I don't know, dude. It's when he comes back from his injury, man. I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do with him.
Now I don't know if he tore. I know there was like speculation that he tore his ACL. I don't know if that's ever came out if he did or not. And if he didn't, if it's just a meniscus and MCL, those are actually relatively moderate injuries. Those aren't like a lot of people. I saw a lot of people speculating, "Oh, amazingly out a year." Pump the brakes. There's time he could get back into by WrestleMania if it's just the MCL and meniscus. Meniscus is the worst thing out of the two.
Yeah.
The MCL, and I just know this from football injuries. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but the MCL is not that big of a deal. Like it goes down the side of your leg, and you got enough muscles right there to kind of help support your knee. So the meniscus goes around the patella, and I don't know. I'm like Dr. Oz or something.
Dr. Bone.
Dr. Bone. Dr. Bone waiting for surgery. Oh man. Anyways, he could come back by Mania.
Yeah.
If it's just that. The ACLs, that's a biggie because it goes over the kneecap.
Yeah.
So
I'm assuming they're gonna do something with the Usos at some point. It's gonna be the Pauls versus the Usos. That's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah.
From what I was reading, I guess they are interested in bringing in Jake at some point.
Why wouldn't they be?
As you've seen, I mean, he had his own Titantron music. He had his theme music and all that stuff. So he's ready to go. The dude, I mean, they're both pretty much like they're both stars as much as you don't want to admit it. They pretty much are. Dude.
Jake needs some work though.
Oh yeah, Jake needs to hop in the right. Maybe work out with his brother. Maybe his brother can teach him some stuff. But he might not.
Don't work with Shane McMahon because those Shane McMahon punches were not working.
He needs to work with that. Put him back with give him Shawn Michaels. Like But the other thing too is like when you give Shawn Michaels, like for lack of a better term, a specimen like Logan Paul, like someone that's super athletic that can like. Right. Imagine if you're Shawn Michaels and you're this coach and you're like you have this kid right here. You must be like, holy shit, the shit I can teach this kid. Like, I can like pretty much transfer my talent into this dude.
I mean, to be honest with you, and then this is part of it. Everybody knows I'm a huge Shawn Michaels fan. He reminded me of Shawn Michaels. It was like watching a 96, 97 Shawn Michaels.
Wow, that's big. That's big. That's
huge. I was blown away. I'm not gonna lie. I was in there just like, wow.
Yeah, dude. The Superman punches he was throwing, the offense of Logan Paul was pretty amazing.
It's the selling for me. The way he was selling and the storytelling. He got that crowd over on him. Now, granted, I mean, I know it's Saudi Arabia or whatever, but still.
They were on his side, man. That crowd was hot when they were doing those false finishes.
Right.
Like it was pretty. You know what I noticed too in that match? Like a lot of the beginning pin attempts from Roman Reigns, Logan was kicking out at 1, right? And then when Logan would do a move to Roman Reigns would kick out at 2, almost 3. So like
Yeah.
it was almost like
Yeah.
it was almost like that whole threat throughout the whole match that Logan Paul could possibly end the reign of Roman Reigns, but obviously we knew what the outcome was going to be. I mean,
Yeah. And
you can talk about this match all night long. I mean, it
was good.
That was a saving grace of that show.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
If you didn't have that match on the show, this show would suck.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think. There was one of the matches that I thought was going to be really good that was kind of abrupt was the cage match between Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre. So what I found out that I guess he had the flu. Did you know that? So that kind of explains why it wasn't like the best. But I thought that could have been one of the potential really good matches of the night.
Kind of going back to what y'all spoke about like on Chick-fil-A show, and then what you just said earlier. When they do these gimmick matches, they need more violence. It's just like, who cares?
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like it's like I've got like my Mattel ring in there, and I'm playing with the figures. It's like nobody would want to see that match.
No.
That's what that's like.
That's funny. I mean, like I said, I'm not sure if it's where they were, doing the event from, where they were kind of limited in doing that type of stuff. But even that, like you said, the gimmick, like I said, the last woman standing match, that cage match, they definitely could have been a lot better.
The tag match was good, but it was predictable.
Yeah, the tag match was actually that was actually really
good. It was good.
Which one are we talking about? The women's or the?
I'm sorry, the Brawling Brutes and the Usos.
Oh, yes, that match was actually really good as well. I almost forgot about that match. Jeez.
The women's match, I don't know. The women's tag match just doesn't make any sense.
No,
makes no sense.
It's those titles, man.
Well,
they don't know what to do.
Right. Let's speed of times. Let's head real quick outside the ropes.
Outside the ropes.
And another drop that we haven't been able to play in quite some time.
You're fired.
You're fired. I'm sorry. You're fired. Get out of here.
You're fired. I suppose you're fired. How the hell are you gonna get fired on your day off? You're fired.
The big green belt, also known as the 24/7 title.
Yeah.
Has been retired. It's been fired. It's been burnt. It's
gone.
And only the second, the trash can is now a one-time women's champion and a one-time 24/7 champion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's funny.
Well, technically, the trash can actually dropped it, so the floor.
Yeah.
But
oh man.
Yeah, so Nikki Cross wins the 24/7 title this week, and basically just drops it off, and it's done. I mean, it took them 4 months to do it.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna try to see if I can tell everybody your thoughts on it. I'm gonna pull up a tweet. No.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, that was like a sign that they're getting rid of any remnants of the past regime.
Yeah.
Which is that was something brought in by, I'm not sure if obviously Vince McMahon had to sign off on it, but that's a title that was brought in for God knows what, probably just like for gags, shits and giggles, as they like to say. But it doesn't serve any purpose at all right now. I mean, it hasn't been on TV since I think Vinnie Mac stepped down. Dana Brooke, fighting champion, though. She would come out every once in a while and do her thing.
God.
Oh man.
Who let you in here?
Yeah, dude.
Party's over.
You woke up from your nap?
Yeah. How was your nap,
baby nap?
pal?
I've had to record 2 short films today. I'm tired. I'm young. And I work with adults who act like children.
You know what this is?
And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit here, we're gonna do this show, and I'm gonna eat my pizza, and we're gonna have a great time. And actually, now that I'm here, we could do it properly.
And now, the Rawdown presents the crowning ceremony for the Rawdown champion.
Yeah.
That would be
I'll
you
take
talk about
that.
the trash can, right? That won the 24/7 championship.
No.
on
Yeah,
Monday
put
Night
that
Raw.
right in with there.
Yep, that's what we're.
You won the
celebrating.
24/7 championship?
Yeah, I picked it up when Nikki Cross just threw it on the ground and completely missed the trash can.
Great job.
What a great guy.
What a great guy.
Anyways, it is time to get raw. It's time to get down. It's time for Rawdown.
it's time to
How's
eat
everyone
pizza.
doing?
we already did this.
Yeah, we already did this, and I did it
Yeah,
better
yeah,
than you.
yeah.
So,
Well, now
Yeah,
the show's officially starting. Anyways, what do we think of Crown Jewel?
We
oh
already
my
talked
god,
about
we
it.
already talked about it.
Get
Get out of here! I'm about to boot you out of here.
All you need to know about my thoughts on Crown Jewel is the fact that I'm still your champion. So I would say it's a pretty good show.
Anyways,
Yes, let's get back to regularly scheduled program here.
what about that 24/7 championship?
Anyways, so what?
Yeah.
Okay, back on track.
We're talking-
24/7 title.
Marco was talking about the 24/7 championship. Before
Okay,
you
go ahead.
really
Yeah,
interrupted.
so
We gotta-
I was
we gotta
basically-
switch positions.
I was basically saying that it served its purpose when the old regime was in place, but now that the new regime is here, there's no need for it at all. Time for bigger and better things. Maybe they introduce something new. Maybe they, like I said, a mid card ladies title. Maybe they get rid of the women's tag titles next. Who knows? That's probably the next move, I would
What
say.
the purpose in the old regime was just like comedic relief.
Shits and giggles. Yeah,
Okay,
there's not real much
Fill
comedy.
fill
happening
time.
nowadays.
Just fill
Yeah.
time.
There's not.
fill
I mean,
time. True.
Yeah, right now it's the show's more wrestling and story driven.
Yeah,
So
they have matches.
yeah, they actually have like a thing called
I think
wrestling matches.
I think Hawk was booking the show for a while.
Not enough face paint and tassels though. There weren't
Yeah.
enough.
Well, I said it a while ago, and it's that the only thing that's really changed as far as the formatting of the Triple H shows, besides the fact of seeing all the new people and stuff, is that you're still getting the same matches, the same finishes, right? A lot of like no contest, or on TV at least, on your
Yeah.
Raws and your Smackdowns, like you're getting your no contest or disqualifications or stuff. You're still getting that, but now you're getting much longer matches. So you're letting them showcase their wrestling ability, but you're still progressing the storylines through the fuck finishes. So now, when they were doing that with much shorter matchups, match time lengths during the Vince era, you needed to fill in those time with like the 24/7 stuff. So I agree with you for sure. It definitely served its purpose back then. But now that there's actually,
it serves their
wrestling
purpose.
filling in that time, there's no
Yeah.
real need for it. So
It really, I mean, even though it fit the format, it served no purpose then either.
Yeah.
I mean, it could still work today, like especially with R-Truth being injured. Like you could do like a minute segment every now and then.
No, we don't need.
You can still
You don't
do
know
it.
what
It's
that
just
is.
I think people have just soured on it so much that you just can't anymore.
I think they did it right. I think R-Truth being injured and out for a while. I think it was time to he was synonymous with that with that title. So I mean, without him on TV, what's the purpose of even having that title? You have to be entertaining to hold that. I think you have to,
Right.
you have
Well,
to be funny.
Let's get to that actually. Dana Brooke
Uh-oh.
tweeted out everything I've worked for and tried to elevate Letteria in the trash. Are we working here, or are we going working boots here, or what? Are we shooting? Are we working? What are we doing here?
I
Not
think
that it really matters, but
yeah, it really
Well,
doesn't matter.
Four words. Don't know, don't care.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's Dana's thing now. Is just everyone shits on her on the show,
Yeah.
and then she just comes back on social media.
it
So
doesn't work though. Like,
it doesn't work. No one
Not for her.
cares.
No.
So I don't
Like, I
really
just-
care.
Is she trying to garner sympathy? Is it sympathy or something? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
a-
like
Yeah, if they did something on TV, like she
No sympathy for
comes
you.
out, does a pipe bomb or something
No
like
shit for
that,
you.
I'll believe it. But yeah, she doesn't have the.
Oh man, please come out in the Stone Cold T-shirt and go crisscross applesauce.
Just cut a
Crisscross
promo on-
applesauce and start cutting a promo on Bianca Belair.
Oh my god, dude, that'd be funny.
I am the best in that ring on that microphone.
No, she should cut
Yeah.
the Brett promo from the cage match. Frustrated isn't the goddamn word.
She
for
pushes
it.
Triple H over.
Yeah,
Frustrated isn't the goddamn word.
you know it, and I know it.
Triple H. I've been screwed by Nikki Cross, the boy toy.
The boy toy.
Damn. But yeah, definitely was a good call. Getting rid of the 24/7 stuff. And like you could still do like funny stuff every now and then, but I think the funny segments that we've seen from Triple H have been more like strategic. Like it's not
Yeah.
like
And they're
straight
posed,
up just humor. It's like thrown in to
In a
really show like
storyline.
to show like the comedic side of wrestlers. It's not like a
Yeah.
comedy segment happening for the sake of a comedy segment.
Not
It's not
farting
like
in the
Kevin Owens getting a
bathtub.
pie thrown in his face. It's more of just Kevin Owens
It's
being
so
funny
stupid.
in his actual segment.
Right.
I enjoyed the Johnny Gargano reenactment things. Those are pretty hilarious.
Oh, I
Him-
wanted to
him
ask
reenacting it.
J-Bone, because you were high on the Dexter Loomis segments for a while. What do you think of it now that it's like turning into? All right, there you go. I knew it.
Yeah, it's
I
going
saw
nowhere.
that segment. I was like, J-Bone hates this.
Yeah, it's going.
More.
It lost its. What is it? Lost its.
They lost me
Yeah.
like a month ago. They lost me
Yeah.
like a month ago. Like whenever he was cutting out of the ring, like I was like, I'm done. Like it's enough of this. Let's
They
move
tried to
on.
set the
Once Johnny got involved, it just went to shit.
It went. Way
I
too
thought it was
long.
cool last week. Was it last? I don't remember. The
The reenactment one.
No, well, not really the reenactment, but just the idea of like this whole thing being a setup by the Miz. But I thought Dexter was like in on it too. Like I thought
Yeah.
this whole thing was just like a setup. But like now Dexter isn't involved
too
and it's just the
convoluted,
Miz.
man.
It makes no sense. And Johnny Gargano, I don't know what they're doing with him. Like if they brought him back for this, like
That's
on.
what I'm saying. Like I whenever he made his arrival, I was like, oh, Johnny G's in trouble.
Well, maybe he wants to like show his funny side. He wants to be
Funny.
yeah,
like,
but like I
Money
said, they
ain't
could be
money,
doing
pal.
that in a much more like I said, they could be doing that in a much more better way. Like you don't need like bullshit like this. Like this makes the Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano feud look like Brett and
jeez.
Austin at this point. Like
yeah.
God, I don't know what they're doing. Johnny,
Especially what they did with Austin. Let's get into it. I mean,
yeah, that's a good segue. You want to get into
what in
some
the
Austin Theory talk?
holy fuck happened?
All right. Well, let's get into some Austin Theory talk. So I'm going to try to break down what happened in the last half hour of Monday Night Raw as best as I can. So bear with me. Jump in if I miss anything. So Seth Rollins, after seeing him, twice on that night,
Yep.
that he was going for the open challenge, then the two groups get involved, and we'll talk about that segment in a little bit.
Mhm.
The open challenge doesn't happen. I thought we were getting a triple threat, first of all. I thought we were getting Seth, AJ, and Finn, and I was like, holy shit, this is great. But we didn't get that. We should get that at some point. We didn't get it. So anyways, Seth says, I'm still going to do the open challenge. He comes back later on in the night, and he opens up the open challenge, and we get Ali on the camera. He's like, oh, I still need my match, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, he gets yanked off camera, beat up by none other than the almighty Bobby Lashley. And he says, still need my rematch. I lost. It was BS. And then Ali jumps on him, attacks him, and fucking Bobby Lashley just flings him, which I thought was hilarious. That was a great visual. And we don't even get a match. We get Bobby Lashley attacking Seth Rollins for a good 5 minutes.
That really pissed me off, by the way. But,
Which, you know, is a parallel to Brock attacking Bobby. Now Bobby attacks Seth. So I get that. Here comes Austin Theory with the Money in the Bank, and it goes to commercial. And I text in the group chat, there is no way they're about to do what I think that they're about to do. Come back from commercial break. Austin Theory gives his Money in the Bank contract to the referee. I'm like, oh my God, what are they doing? So they cashes in. This is the first time ever that a Money in the Bank contract has been cashed in on a mid-card title.
Jeez.
Start the match. Austin Theory almost wins multiple times. And then somehow it gets on the outside, and Bobby Lashley comes back and attacks Austin Theory. Puts him in a full Nelson, whatever. He's out cold. And then Theory is on the floor until the count of 9. And I hate when they do this. That it is 9.5. And it's not even like there was a struggle. Theory was dead. All right. He was not getting it. And then at 9.5, he leaps right back into the ring like nothing happened. I'm like,
and he's supposed to be a heel. That's a babyface move.
That's a babyface move. That's so true. I didn't even think about that. Anyways, he crawls back into the ring, eats a curb stomp, and he loses. Seth retains, and immediately Twitter went off that Theory is buried. Let's talk about it. Is Austin Theory buried after this segment?
No.
We get a no. J-Bone.
The time is drawing near.
That was a good use for a drop that we normally don't use. All right. Marco, let's start with you on this one. You say he isn't buried. Go ahead.
No. I think they needed a way to get the. So put it this way: he has to cash in on Roman Reigns, right? Either way, he was going to lose. He wasn't going to win the titles from Roman Reigns. So he could literally cash in on anybody, and it wouldn't even matter. It doesn't matter.
Let him
Reigns
cash in on Roman.
Yeah, I mean they could have. So Roman Reigns isn't losing anytime soon. But
I'm not saying he should have won. He would have, by cashing in on Roman, would have elevated him.
I don't see. That's the thing. I don't know if people are behind him enough for them to care if he does cash in on Roman.
That's why you do it. Like especially if you surprised, like on a SmackDown whenever maybe he's doing one of his promos.
Yeah,
This cameraman right here, this is my cameraman.
this cameraman right here is my cameraman.
So great.
Hear me out.
Hear me out.
And then boom, A-Town down.
And then no one pops for it though. No one pops for that shit.
They're not supposed to.
No, but I mean, when someone cashes in, it's supposed to be like, holy shit, someone's gonna cash in right now. It's supposed to be like.
Hold on, Marco. What was the reason that you just said was the whole point of this? This whole U.S. title segment. Why did they do this?
To keep a mid card.
No, you said it. It's to get the Money in the Bank off of Theory.
Oh yeah. So
then why couldn't they do this right after Crown Jewel? Why couldn't they do it right after Crown Jewel? That exact same. He doesn't have to win. Obviously, he's not going to win, but he cashes it in and just get it off of him. The only problem that I have with this, Theory isn't buried. Let me get that
I don't care. See, I don't care either who he.
Wait. Yeah. Theory isn't buried. The only problem that I have with this is that the Money in the Bank is already a very hurt concept. Like the last few years have been
I have a hot take
fucked up for the Money in the Bank. Otis winning, Baron Corbin, all this like Asuka just like getting the title, all of it. It was awful. So to have a new star, which that's really the point of Money in the Bank, for to let a new star get the briefcase, win the title. No one ever said that he had to win the title. Yeah. But the fact that you put it against a United States championship doesn't devalue Theory. It devalues the Money in the Bank. So when we come around to WrestleMania, when it's probably going to happen again, it's like, all right, what's next? They're gonna cash in on the women's tag team championships. Like, what are we doing here? That now we can cash in on any championship. It devalued the whole thing of Money in the Bank was that it's guaranteed a world title match, not an intercontinental title match. It's completely different. But
I was actually gonna bring that up too. I think both sides. Marco.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
So I think they did that because it's one of two things. It's either gonna go back to a match, like a Money in the Bank match on a different show, or they're getting rid of the concept completely. I think the Money in the Bank has ran its course personally.
It has.
Yeah.
Right. So the Money in the Bank right now is not needed because whoever, like, even if they have one next year, Roman Reigns is still the champion. They're not gonna win. Like the whole thing is like you have this. You're anticipating like if someone has the Money in the Bank briefcase and that you think that person's gonna win. That's like that person is a threat to that world championship. Anyone that comes in the vicinity of Roman Reigns is not a threat to his championship. So they're automatically going to lose. You're not going to fool the wrestling fans saying like, oh my God, this guy has the Money in the Bank. He might be Roman Reigns. Not happening.
Yeah.
So what I think is if he holds that belt for another year, like next year, if he holds it all next year, which we don't know, but I don't see that. I don't see that concept. And even like in the world of Roman Reigns, the Money in the Bank briefcase does not exist to me.
And that's because they've built their like Universal or World Champion to be like unstoppable. And I'm not just meaning like Roman. I mean, like you think about Brock and you think about like who else? Like I'm trying to think. Well, I guess Bobby was, but see, they didn't really treat the WWE title like that. I guess so. Maybe that's a little off. But it feels like, just to me, like thinking back the last few times, it's especially like like Otis, like really, we're gonna have Otis beat somebody here. You know, I guess maybe it was more a problem with who they had as the winner.
Yeah.
Of the Money in the Bank, but and that whole Money in the Bank was just so fucked up from the jump. It was a month after the pandemic started. It was just like, I mean, they did the best that they could do, but Otis, really?
The whole WWE headquarters stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, then they gave it to Miz afterwards, like,
which was a good call, I will say.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You need like a really good. See, the Money in the Bank briefcase always has to be on a heel for me, anyway. I don't think it does any good on a baby face. So you have to have a heel, and that heel has to be really good. Like you have to really hate that person, and you have to like have that like thought that, oh my God, this dude can like sneak in at any time and steal an opportunity, which is the Miz. Like the Miz can definitely do that.
Or a baby face that you really, really like Big E.
Yes,
or Liv
that's
Morgan.
way over. Like it has to be a really hated heel or a way over baby face, not a this guy's a heel guy. Like Austin Theory, no one looks at him as this major monster, scary heel that could take Roman Reigns down if he wanted to. It's like I don't know, man. I just think that briefcase is like. It's almost cursed. I
think this is who should have had it.
That's. I mean, and then look at Liv Morgan. Not even on the. Let's not focus on the men. Look at the women's side of things. Like, look what happened. Look what happened to Liv Morgan with her win. Like, what did that do? They took it right off.
The numbers don't lie.
Exactly. Like it's, I don't know, man. It's like I said. They obviously we talked about it. They're looking to take the Hell in a Cell match and just make it a marquee match as opposed to an event. I think the same thing's probably going to happen to the Money in the Bank at some point. Like, just make it a match. Just make it a WrestleMania match like it was before.
Do you see them?
The audience are quite frankly tired of having your intelligence insulted.
Right, exactly, Vince.
Do you see them replacing Money in the Bank with something, or do you think they just get rid of the concept altogether?
Bash at the beach. Let's go.
Just get rid of it. Get rid of it. Maybe keep Elimination
I'm
Chamber.
fine with getting rid of it, honestly.
Yeah.
No, just I'd like to see you like cut out more premium live events.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just put it in put it in like a crown jewel, or I don't know, put it in just one of the events. We don't need a whole fucking Money in the Bank.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be WrestleMania either. Like, you know,
SummerSlam, make it a SummerSlam match. Like, make it, I don't know, fucking
put it on main event. Fuck it.
Yeah, put on main event. Put on freaking what's that one? Level
bring
up.
the Velocity and put it on
Yeah,
there.
Velocity. That's it. I said level up.
Yes.
Put
Sunday Night Heat. Here we go, baby.
it on Shotgun Saturday Night. One of those shows.
House show in Poughkeepsie or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be an attraction more than anything.
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't be
J-Bone, you back to the original like topic. You know, you said that theory's buried. Why don't you get into that?
I mean, like, I think it's like you're basically burying him with the briefcase, you know, because it's a thing where it's both happening at the same time. Because he cashed in on a mid carder, and B, it was the Money in the Bank was used to cash in on a mid carder. So he has not been on TV really much besides his little feud with Johnny Gargano, and like this just came out of nowhere. I think, especially when you consider it was on the same night where the 24/7 championship was killed. It's like, boop, we're slowly moving on to the Triple H, not slowly, but like cleaning house basically. Yeah. I don't think Theory's going to be fired, you know, but I think he's going to go back to the drawing board, get revamped. I think he'll probably get repackaged pretty soon.
Well, hold on. So when we say buried, I'm thinking like Theory's like out of the picture completely. You
for
think
a little
he's
while
going to be in like the mid card?
No, I think he'll be out of the picture for a little while. I mean, I think he's going to be repackaged.
Okay.
What they kind of tease him cashing in on Braun Breaker on NXT. I honestly would have been happy with that.
Completely fine with that, even if he lost.
Yeah, that would have been much better if they went that route.
I want to. That would have elevated the NXT title, by the way, huge.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't do that when fucking NXT was really, really big, black and gold. I want to bring up this comment here. The King is with us. Says, the crazy thing is WWE under Triple H has the lowest ratings of WWE history, and last year under Vince McMahon's ratings, they were higher.
Yeah, fact check this.
I believe that is completely wrong.
Yeah, I think that's opposite.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember. Yeah. Raw's been pretty high lately, even with football. So I would even say, is this like the best that Raw's been doing with Monday Night Football? That's another statistic to think about. He also says, because it's a sad day on wrestling when a social media guy outdoes more than all the WWE talents. It's time to have a talk with your talents. What do you mean a social media guy?
He's talking about Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. Okay.
No. Yeah.
It's not that he's better. It's that he's a name.
Yeah.
And he's really athletic too. I mean, let's not take any. We already talked about this at the beginning, but I mean, the dude proved he could fucking make anyone look good in the ring. He made Roman Reigns look good. Like, he could tell a story. Like, J-Bone was given the highest praise, and he hates Logan Paul.
Did you say he makes Roman Reigns look good?
He made Roman Reigns look good in the match. I'm saying.
I think they both do.
They both worked.
No, they made each other look good. Hold on. Don't say Logan Paul made.
Well,
Roman
I wasn't going to go I'm talking about Logan Paul. I'm not talking about Roman Reigns. But if I was talking about both, I would say they both made each other look good. I already said this at the beginning.
That's different. I thought you were just saying just Logan made Roman look. I was like, God damn.
I mean, he did. I mean, it's not.
No, he did, but it went both ways.
All right, so this past week's viewership, 1,593,000 people. Okay,
and that's with Monday Night Football, by the way.
And it was up actually 93,000 people this week. Actually, all right. Let's go November 8th last year, 1,569,000.
So it's the same?
Yeah. I mean, if we look at it like on versus, it's actually up by a little bit. So
Technically, yeah. I mean, just look at the ratings that when Triple H just came in to the start of Monday Night Football, I don't remember a higher time of ratings from that point.
Yeah.
That was like they were on a consistent upreach. Did they reach 2 million a few times?
Yes. Okay, so here we go. July 11th, 1.7, 1.7, 1.9. August 1st, 2.2. 1.9, 1.9, 2.0, 2.1, 2.0, 1.7,
Oh, so it was consistently getting twos.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
3 weeks in a row. And I'll say this too. I don't think it's the talent, like he says. I think it's the way it's been booked recently, last couple weeks. The Raw is taking definitely a dive, and you could tell with the numbers. To be honest with you,
I don't want to blame Crown Jewel, but I mean, if you listen to the show enough, I'm not a huge advocate of that show, and I think them having to pivot, Bobby Lashley losing the United, like he was going on a run with that United States Championship. He has to drop it so he can have a match with Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel. Like that, like if you have to pivot and change all your storylines just to accommodate for like a show, that's kind of, I don't know, that it's almost like a detriment to.
But I don't know if that was a pivot though. Like just taking Bobby Lashley and taking the title off him and fucking away with him.
He could have still had the title while he faced Brock. They didn't need to take the title off.
No, I mean that goes to what we're saying about like the women's tag team championships, that like they're just attached to Damage Control as Bailey and Bianca.
They didn't need to do Brock and Bobby at all. It's pretty clear.
No,
yes,
they didn't. But they're continuing the story, so it's different. If this was a one-off, no, they didn't. But they're continuing the story. There's going to be a third match. So I'm fine with that.
Yawn. I liked his run. With
not a great concept. Like I don't particularly care.
Yeah, see,
but also you.
I watched the match, and a matter of fact, I fell asleep in the middle of it.
Title on Seth right now. He is one of the most over people in the company.
Technically, he's a mid carder, so I mean, not really.
Well, yeah. I mean, still, you got to put a title on him.
I mean, you don't have. See, I don't think he needs a title. Personally,
how long can you say that until it's like, we kept saying, oh, he doesn't need this win. Oh, he doesn't need this win. And then he went a whole year without any wins.
See, I don't like him.
At some point that you need, it's like Eddie Kingston. Like how many times can Eddie Kingston lose before he finally has to win?
Yeah. I mean, for Seth Rollins, that's a downgrade for me anyway. Having the US
winning a championship?
Yeah. That the US championship for me anyway.
Oh, come on.
I think it is.
Oh, shucky, ducky, quack, quack.
That's I don't know. I mean,
he needs to be in the title picture, like the main title picture. He doesn't.
No, he does not. Not right now. Not right now. Because
then when?
Because you think Seth's gonna beat Roman?
No, but at least put him in the mix. Like make it look like
so he can lose again.
Well, not put him. I said put him in the mix, not put him in a match with Roman. And at least make it look like he's.
What is he going to do? He's just going to be floundering around there.
Well, they need to do the actual make a actual main event scene where there are main event guys that can look like.
Oh, you're right. That's a whole other issue. Like,
right.
The way that they're building Roman right now is there is one person challenging Roman, and that's it. And maybe there's a few people floundering.
Everyone's a mid carder now. Like everyone that was in the main event status that was against Roman Reigns is now Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre.
But they built up both of the IC and the US titles to the point where it's almost like it's not even a mid card per se. It's
not a slap in the face. It's more prestigious than
right.
I mean, like I said, for me, for Seth Rollins in particular, I think it's a downgrade. For me, anyway, that's my opinion.
I mean, that's fair.
Seth Rollins.
Seth is one of the top 5 most popular guys on the roster. So sure, but with the scenario that they're in right now, where They're building up the U.S. title. They are, Seth is over. He can make anything, great right now. I wouldn't call it a downgrade. I would just say they could do even more with him, but it's fine what they're doing with him now.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. All right, let's move on here. Let's let's grapple each other here real quick.
Collar and elbow.
I love grappling with my buds.
It's time for War Games.
War Games. We don't have that drop anymore. We got to get it again.
Yeah, we got to get it back.
Yeah, but they announced the first War Games match. It is what is it? Damage Control and Nikki Cross versus Bianca, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka.
Well,
what are our thoughts?
There's mystery people too. Don't forget.
And mystery people, yes.
Yeah,
that's
Yawn.
Yawn. Continue, J-Bone.
I mean, first of all, we talked about the match a little bit. I'm a little confused as why Bayley didn't win that match, to be honest with you. But that's that would have gained more heat to this match. Like, why does Bianca need to feel like she need to go after Bianca? Because it's War Games, and because Bayley said some mean things. I mean, come on. I mean, what are we doing here? Let's get some real shit here, pal. But I don't like the pairing with Nikki Cross. It just doesn't fit for me, and I also hate Alexa and Asuka together. I hate all three of them together, and we kind of saw this match already. To be honest with you, now I know we're gonna see additional people. I think for me to for it to really get over for me, the fifth person on Damage Control needs to be Charlotte.
Yeah.
And leave it a surprise until War Games. Until the night of War Games.
That could be good. That could be. Because you have to think like Damage Control's team needs to win this match.
Right.
There's no other, you can't have Bianca's team win. You just can't do it. And I have a feeling, I saw on Twitter, and it's probably going to be what the Twitter post was, but it'll probably be Rhea as the fifth woman, which I don't love. And I can't remember. I know one of the other people was Candice LeRae. I forget who that.
They announced it on the other team already.
No. It was a prediction. It was Rhea was predicted to be the fifth woman on the Damage Control team, and then I think it was Candice LeRae and someone else. I forget who, but I agree with you. I think you really do need a heavy hitter, which is why Charlotte would be perfect because one, it's Charlotte, but two, it gives you the surprise on the heel side of things. So it opens the door for a Damage Control win, which they really need. Charlotte to get a big win coming back, which could even set up Charlotte versus Bianca later down the line.
Royal Rumble.
Even at WrestleMania. I could put that on Mania. And it also gives Nikki Cross a win. And if they're building her up like they should be building her up, she should be getting good TV time and good wins going forward. So.
Didn't you what do you guys say that Candice LeRae is gonna turn heel, or you think she's gonna turn heel? You did, right? So she could be that fifth and final piece.
That was my thought, maybe.
But then the other team has two ladies to fill in those spots.
Mm-hmm.
Any predictions?
That's why I think Candice isn't turning. Because they really don't have a lot of people. If they do it the way that I'm thinking,
Raquel.
If it's not Charlotte, it's probably going to be. Now I remembered who that other person was. I do think it's going to be Rhea on the heel team, and then Candice LeRae and Tegan Knox on the.
Or what about Mia Yim?
Mia Yim. There it is. Fuck, that was the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mia Yim and who else?
Candice.
Candice, yeah.
Candice and Mia Yim.
Which
And
is,
if not, then I think Tegan Knox is still up in the air for that.
But and which it's like and I know people are like, oh, that's not that impressive. But if you include Charlotte on the other side, where she just comes in and dominates everybody, just wipes the floor with them, and it's like boom, done.
Not Rhea. I thought you said Rhea in that spot.
Well, I said Rhea. He said Rhea. I would put Charlotte as number one, but Rhea as like a backup.
I think it's time to bring Charlotte back. I mean, like what's she doing? Time to shit or get off the pot here, pal.
Right. Yeah. Depending on, because we have, how many Monday Night Raws? We have 2, right? 2 Monday Night Raws before.
Only 2 left. Jeez.
2. Actually, yes. This upcoming Monday Night Raw, then the go home. If there is nobody decided for that women's team, for we'll say the good people team. Why not Charlotte and Naomi? Why not Sasha and Naomi fill those last 2 spots?
I don't think they're coming back.
No,
I think it's done.
Yeah.
I would love it if it happened. They're in Boston. If it doesn't happen here, it's not happening.
I think it's gonna happen at the Rumble. If it's gonna happen at all, it's gonna happen at the Rumble.
I mean, if they don't fill those spots before Survivor Series, it's like a mystery all the way up until then. I could see it being.
Then you know it's going to be them.
Yeah.
But I don't think they do that because you're going to dead give it away like that. I don't know.
What do you mean dead give it away?
Like there's 2 spots that aren't revealed until Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Who else could it be?
I mean, people are probably thinking now that they're not coming back anyway, so it doesn't even.
Yeah, but it's like it's different if it's 1 spot. Like, could it be Sasha? Could it be this person? But it's like it's 2 people on the same team. Like, of course it's going to be, unless if they throw a curveball, which I would love, is if you leave 1 person on each team. Let's say you fill one of the spots with like on the good people, the good wrestlers side with like, I don't know, Mia Yim, whatever.
Yeah.
You leave 1 person on each side. And then the first reveal on the face side is Naomi. And the second reveal on the heel side is Sasha. Because there's no reason why, they have to come back as a tag team.
Sure.
Everyone keeps just, looping them in together. Why not throw us a little curveball? And, I keep hearing Sasha Naomi. Why not heel Sasha, face Naomi?
Yeah, that's a possibility too.
I mean, you have Bailey on that side anyways. You have that connection there.
Yep.
Could be fun.
I'm interested to see what they do. I mean, we were talking, we were talking before this, and it is revealed, we don't know yet, but for the men's side, it looks like the Bloodline will be the team.
Which I'm very happy about.
And I was talking to J-Bone about this. Really no storyline going into it. So they would have to create like a super team to face the Bloodline.
I've got a counterpoint to that.
Go speak. Is it a hot take?
No, not really.
Speak, young Anthony. Speak.
Speak it into existence. The story starts this weekend. New Day versus the Usos, and then Sheamus is slotted to come back. You do New Day and the Brawling Brutes. It's not great. I would rather a super team. But if you want some story.
Oh, yes, that's right. Okay. I get it.
I know.
So it's like,
I agree, J-Bone.
So 2 tag teams, basically?
No. And Sheamus.
Sam, I was hoping like a KO return, and he was part of this team.
Well, yeah, you would want like KO, Drew, but I mean, they're all doing their own thing right now.
Well, KO's like not even on TV.
Well, KO, no. I don't know. I feel like you don't need a super team against you have to build to that. Like you got to come up with everyone to take down the Bloodline. Like you need to build the Bloodline as like a threat to the entire roster. Like they've taken over the WWE to the point where you need like the Avengers to come
which
and
they
fight
have.
them.
They have.
I need someone to step up.
Which they have, but it's different when it's like they've taken control of, they're ruining everyone's lives. Like, we need all the Avengers to come together. It's like, that's if you were booking the Bloodline as like the NWO, where you need like all your good guys to come together. But they haven't really built it as that.
No.
The Bloodline has been like, going against one or, a team, one person. So
I was thinking
for it to be the New Day and the Brawling Brutes, but I would rather a super team.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe like a Riddle where he has the past issues with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
KO, he has the past issues with the Bloodline, as well as that friendship with Sami Zayn. Seth Rollins, Alliance, you can throw in there.
It could, you could do like big opponents that Roman beat.
Yeah,
that could be fun.
Like,
I would be cool with that.
Like major matches,
and then,
like the best of kind of series,
It's just the fact that you only have I didn't even realize it was only 2 weeks left. So you only have 2 weeks to get it done.
That's why I mean that's going to be that's going to be a put together team to face.
Only way I can get behind this is if it's my idea, which is
Eliminator. Yeah.
No, but also like if you do like where it's people that Roman took down.
Yeah,
I like that idea because then you have KO.
Because then they have a common thread, not just like the blinds. They're not playing fair,
right? Exactly.
Yeah,
it needs to be a story. Like it can't just be people thrown together.
Well, here's a story. So like a lot of people have been. What I've been reading is a lot of the theories about this match would be so everyone obviously wants like the decline of the Bloodline, right? And obviously you're seeing this, the seeds are planted with, Jay kind of undermining Roman, and Sami kind of being that mediator between the two and all that stuff. The theory is they do put this team together and they don't win the War Games match. They actually lose. Someone takes a pin and then that person is to blame. And that's how you set forth like the kind of like the slow downfall of the Bloodline. So maybe Jay getting all full of himself, I got this. I could take anyone out. He's the deciding person that loses the match. And it's not Sami. Maybe Sami jumps in, takes a hit from somebody like a finisher for Roman and kind of saves face and that. Like there's a lot of things you could do in that sense and still have that storyline going. So there will be a storyline. But
if the Bloodline doesn't win here, that means Roman's going to have to take a pin. Just keep that in mind.
Well, you can damn well bet that Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to be there.
So if
that's the wrong one, J-Bone.
So put it this way, like me and J-Bone were talking about, like J-Bone brought up, like they should do it's Survivor War Games, Survivor Series War Games. So if they add the Survivor Series rule to it, where it's an eliminator, so if you get pinned, you're out. If they do it that way, yes. That would be
right.
Someone's gonna have to be that final.
Oh, War Games is an elimination, is it?
We don't know because it's called War Games. It's the first time War Games is at Survivor Series, so we don't know if it's gonna be War Games, but with Survivor Series rules,
right?
Which is a possibility.
But is it usually like in NXT or like in WC?
It was an eliminator. No,
it was never eliminated. Right?
No, it was 1 by 1 you would get in, but not 1 by 1 you would leave.
Okay.
So if
the Bloodline's in there, we won't see elimination. I'll call that. The thing is, what's going to happen with Bloodline, because there's no direction with it, and Sammy's carrying the story, and there's no more time left because people want some. Are you trolling? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Now we know the storyline has been almost 3 years in the making, way before Sami entered the fray. He's just an addition to it.
Dude is just a hardcore AEW fan coming into our WWE infested waters.
Hey, we don't need no banana. We don't need any more people here in the banana nose circus, pal.
You know what?
I don't get it.
Real quick, I will say for AEW, I'll give them. I know we don't, we don't praise them a lot here on the show, although they've been doing a lot better. But I will say, in the build-up to Full Gear, this is the best I've seen from AEW since like last summer.
Yes.
Hands down.
Yeah.
And I think it is, like I was listening to the flagship show, I think it is because, Hawk kept saying
Hawk's
they're
right.
putting all those guys on. like repetitively, like the Acclaimed, even Jay Lethal, Jericho, Moxley. Like we're seeing all these names repetitively. I think that's why it's been really good lately, is because they've been getting a lot more like story driven. Like you have the Acclaimed doing their stuff, even though J-Bone doesn't like it for whatever reason. Jeff Jarrett is, I think, outside of like the Acclaimed and like Dalton Castle, Jeff Jarrett's my favorite person on AEW right now. Like, I love the other line the other day that he's like in the middle of talking and he's listening to he stops to listen to the crowd and he just goes, "Shut the hell up." And then he goes back into talking. Jarrett's great, but I wanted to give some praise to AEW so that it doesn't feel like we're always, hate on AEW. No.
Well, it's not to hate.
Doing great so far. And I will be going to Full Gear, and I'm excited about that.
It's their act. I mean, they're doing the right thing. They're actually using the talent that they have and not using their company as a revolving door and just letting people run and do one-off matches and then leave. Like, use the people that are there, and that works wonders. I mean, as you can see now. Don't get the Samoa Joe turning on Wardlow, but that's another story.
Well, that's what's been brewing, though.
No, I know, but it kind of doesn't that take away from Hobbs in his pursuit of the
powerhouse. Do you think they're going to do a triple threat at the pay-per-view?
Maybe. I can see that happening.
Yawn.
I would like to see it. Anyways, why are we talking about Full Gear? What's the next topic for today, J-Bone?
Let's see. What else do we have in store?
YIM coming back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was next, right?
Yeah. We can talk about that real quick.
Welcome back.
Hello!
Welcome! Where the hell have you been?
I'm back.
Hello there. I'm back.
I'm going back to the big show.
Just when I thought I was out, they put me back in.
I love all these people who like because AEW kind of just blew their load, so they couldn't sign anybody else. So all these people went to Impact, signed these little 1-year deals, 6-month deals, and they're back.
Welcome back, Mia Yim. For $500 for each of you, what does HBIC stand for?
Head bitch in charge.
Very nice.
Of course.
I didn't know. Give
me $500.
We're all out $500. I knew it was something bitch, so it's good that.
You
said the word.
Naughty.
I'm naughty.
Your mom's gonna ground you when she watches this. You're grounded.
Hi, Mom. Well, now we can say it is the head bitch in club.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Right off the dome. Thank you very much. So yeah, Mia Yim is the woman that has been talked about by AJ Styles as the person who's going to fend off Rhea Ripley. And now she has joined the club. My key takeaway from this is Mia Yim. I know the blue hair is your thing. You got to dye the hair red.
Yeah.
That's my key takeaway.
Because they're black.
But
I mean,
blue. It's cool.
What are we doing here?
Because it's the club and they're red and black.
They're red. They come out with the red videos.
Yeah, with the red and black stuff.
And they're bleeding.
You're bleeding.
Bleeding. No, but what do you guys think of Mia Yim joining?
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I don't think she's she's not the Rhea problem or solve. She's not going to be the. No, I don't see her as that threat to Rhea, but that's just me.
Cool.
Yeah, they're gonna have to build it up for me. I mean, it's fine, it's cool, but to be fair, like who else was there for this woman in the club? Raquel
Gonzalez.
Oh, forgot about that.
They could have brought her in. She's literally.
Yeah, but the fans really don't like her because of her, political views and all of that.
Yes.
Oh,
that is
yeah,
true.
yeah.
She's like Miss Hogan almost.
Yeah.
She, you know,
What you gonna do when Raquel Gonzalez runs wild on you?
Yeah.
well, you
Yeah.
know, Raquel is her stepdaddy is none other than the Giant Gonzalez. Did you know
Really?
that? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder what his political beliefs are.
It's rest in piss, Undertaker.
Yeah, that tells you right there. All right, it's good enough for me.
Jay Bone was so thrilled when Marco brought up Raquel Gonzalez because he got to throw out his one Raquel Gonzalez fun fact.
His math fact.
He's like, actually,
his rack fact.
yeah, his rack fact. That's a t-shirt waiting to happen. Rack fact. Maybe not.
Yeah, it's
But
fun.
yeah, I mean, outside of I guess Raquel Gonzalez, like I don't know who else you could have put as that. I heard a lot about like Dewdrop being the, and I was like, no, she doesn't
Beth
fit.
Phoenix they could have brought back, but she's
Not to
Who?
put in the club though.
Beth Phoenix. I mean,
Oh,
just
Beth, no,
yeah.
because what? Like Edge isn't going to be there.
Yeah.
I still hate the club name.
The what?
The
Club.
name, the club.
The
Oh,
OC.
California.
The OC.
Next week on the OC. AJ
This
Styles. AJ Styles has problem with dandruff.
You can definitely see him on the OC with that freaking hair.
Yeah.
Those freaking flawless locks that guy has.
Maybe that's why they came up with the name, the OC. It's like, oh,
Becky breaks up with AJ because of his dandruff. California.
I wanted to ask on this Mia Yim topic because there's like they were reporting that Triple H wants to restock the women's division, bring in like experienced people. What do you guys think of how? What am I trying to ask? I guess it just goes back to the whole like re-signing thing. Like now that we're a few months in, are we getting to the point where it's too many people?
I was about to say, as one of my favorites once said, enough is enough. It's time for a change. And that change is stop signing people. Build your storylines, what you got right now.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I mean, for the women's division, I can see it. Since it's not really, you see the same people every week pretty much.
Yeah. Not really.
SmackDown.
Well, yeah, SmackDown's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I think we're really focusing on Raw, but we should be focusing on SmackDown, like stocking SmackDown up with some ladies.
Yeah, Raw's been getting all of the. I feel like they've been getting all of like the new signings. Like everyone keeps going to Raw except for like Bray Wyatt and Shit Row. Yeah,
it's literally the SmackDown is literally Liv Morgan, Ronda Rousey, and Shayna Baszler.
They're doing a 6.
That's pretty much a women's roster.
They're doing a 6-woman this Friday to determine the number 1 contender, and it's like
Aaliyah,
Shotzi, Aaliyah,
jeez.
Yeah,
they need some like. I
Lacey
can see
Evans. God.
Yeah, they need some more blood over on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who he's thinking of. Maybe, like you said, maybe Tegan Knox, bring her back.
I guess. I mean,
I don't think any of the ladies on NXT are ready to be moved up yet.
Really? Toxic Attraction?
Oh well, yeah, that's right. But yeah, that's true. They could be.
God. Yeah, talk about Toxic Attraction. Like. Yeah,
at least Mandy Rose. You can agree with that.
Yeah,
Mandy.
Yeah, she could come back. But yeah, everyone else, no. There's no
They're
Gigi
characters.
Dolan.
That's all that really matters at this point.
Juicy Jane, what's her name?
Juicy Jane.
Juicy Jane.
Who's Juicy Jane?
What's the other one's name?
Is it Lash?
No, not Lash Legend.
Lash LaRue?
Lash LaRue. Lash Legend.
Gigi Dolan.
Gigi Dolan.
Yeah, I know that one. And
no, that's Toxic Attraction.
Jane, something Jane, huh?
JC Jane. Not
JC
Juicy
Jane.
Jane.
Juicy
I'm close.
Yeah, close enough. If you squint, it's juicy.
That was close.
That's great.
I mean, they're characters.
I love
They can bring them
NXT.
up. There's a name change for it. If they want to change. Forget Walter to Gunther. Change JC to Juicy Jane.
Juicy Jane. That should be a T-shirt.
I don't know how no one's made that joke so far. It took us how many
It
episodes?
wasn't a joke. That was the problem.
Yeah. It
I
took
thought
us
it
how
was
many
Juicy
episodes for someone to say Juicy Jane? Oh my god. But anyways, back to the topic at hand.
She's lucky I got that far with it. So.
Yeah, true. I'm surprised you remembered that at all. Here's Marco saying Lash Legend.
Lash LaRue?
Lash LaRue legend.
Lash LaRue is a legend around my parts.
Yeah.
Bring up Nikita Lyons to the main roster. And I'll be happy with that.
Too many injuries on all those ladies.
Yeah.
Toxic Attraction get injured. They got injured. Or I should put quotation marks injured for what's her name? Nikita Lyons. Quotation marks injured.
Oh yeah. Injured.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh,
What's up with that?
She didn't want to get a mandatory shoulder injury. A while back.
Gotcha. That's good. I like that.
Mandatory shoulder injury.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, she didn't want one of those, so
something bit me.
Forrest Gump. No, something bit me.
Oh man. But anyways, where do we see this whole Mia Yim and the just completely fucking went off the rails?
I don't see it lasting too long. I think it's just maybe something for a Survivor Series, and then that's it. Maybe they're gonna have a Survivor Series.
That's a question. Are they still? Do you think they aren't going to do like traditional Survivor Series matches, right?
I'd like to see a combo of eliminator matches.
I would too, but is that overkill? Is that like too many? You know, like we were complaining about All Out having like 15 trios matches. Like, is this
this is just two War Games matches?
Yeah, right. 2 War Games matches, but then you add like the 5-on-5 Survivor Series.
No. You would no. Don't do that. No.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, all right. Fine.
You because it is 5-on-5, and you make it the eliminator match.
Yeah.
You make it the Survivor Series match.
No, that's why I was asking. Like, do you do the 5-on-5 traditional on top of that? But no, I don't think you do.
No.
Yeah, you could. You technically could.
The only way you would do it, like you could just do one, but don't make the War Games eliminator.
Yeah. Well, then the original Survivor Series used to be all 4-on-4s.
It was actually all 5-on-5. They actually had 5 tag teams versus 5 tag teams.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was like.
It was wild.
Didn't they transition to 4 at some point?
Yeah, they did 4. I think first 2 years was 5-on-5, and then I think starting 1990, I think it was 4-on-4. Might have been 89 as well too. Yeah, I think it was 89. Okay. 87 and 88 were 5-on-5. 89 was 4-on-4.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think they'll do it, but you never know.
I mean, you could do 4-on-4 too. It's fine.
Yeah. Who knows if it'll even be on Survivor Series? They just might do something like on a Raw or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? But Mia Yim, meh. We'll see where it goes. Did we have anything else for major topics?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask
it's not really a major topic, but
yeah,
there's something I wanted to bring up because
oh boy,
I didn't talk about this, but yesterday was the 25th anniversary of the Screw Job, and I just wanted to pose a question, mainly for Anthony.
Oh,
okay. So me and Marco, we lived through it. What's kind of your thoughts on the Screw Job? Just overall, not whether it was a shoot or work, just like in your eyes, just like looking back in history, did it change anything? Like, was anything special to you, basically?
Because
you didn't.
What did I think? Like, did it change
wrestling? I mean, did it change the business?
I mean, I've been a fan for close to 12 years now.
Mhm.
I've done my research on it. It's definitely changed. Like, you can clearly see that it's changed the business. I would have to think about that. Like, I don't think you see a lot of, if the screw job never happened, there is such a domino effect that even the most minor things that we pay attention to in wrestling today somehow is associated with the screw job, I feel like.
Right.
Because, like the screw job, it's associated with so much stuff that it's like, who even knows if it didn't happen, where we would be like right now.
Yeah.
And obviously I can't say much about it just because I didn't live through it, which is why a question like this is kind of hard for me.
I guess my main thing is like, for you, is it just like, oh wow, like that was interesting, or is it like, nah, yawn?
I mean, I say meh, yawn, just because it's like, it didn't directly, like, although like they were little like domino effects, I feel like majority of those like quote unquote domino effects happened directly after and the years after that. Like, we're in 2022 now. There's not much that, and you can correct me, like give me your opinion, but like, what is there that has like, stayed as a huge impact to wrestling since the screw job, like as a direct effect of the screw job? You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Like,
well, I think contracts, and I mean, I know probably the Kevin Nash and Scott Hall jumping over to WCW probably had more of an effect on it, but
okay, yeah,
meaning particularly in WWE.
okay, yeah,
Like the business side, I think has a lot of effects. I mean, the screw job happened mainly because Brett had to leave. He was forced
right.
out because he signed a 20-year deal.
Mhm.
You're not going to see that again.
Oh yeah.
They're going to be very choosy. I think wrestlers, especially in WWE, they make a lot more money in a shorter period of time than they did, back in 97, 98, that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think also the only thing that I can directly, there's a fly flying around my mic. I think the only thing that I can directly impact or like connect from the screw job is like the whole idea of WWF versus WCW. That was definitely strengthened a lot by the screw job. And I feel like, if anything, the whole company wars now carrying over into WWE, AEW, like that is something. But like, what I'm trying to say is like, there's nothing outside of the contracts for me that is like, oh, this changed wrestling in my eyes. Like, if the screw job never happened, like this would never happen. Like, I feel like it's passed so many years now that it's like, yeah, it happened, but it only really impacted, like, from what I'm seeing, the year or a few years after, those were the real big impacts happening from.
I think
like the whole DX conversation that we had a few weeks ago.
I'm sorry. I think it also affected, like, immediately, like years after, how Vince booked as well too.
Oh yeah, true.
So
yeah,
not like later on. Like, I think he had to try to find. I think that was a whole another reason why trying to find a Cena. For finding Cena, finding another Brett. Brett was that other Cena, Hogan, whatever.
Yeah.
He had to find another star. So
true.
I mean, I would say, if anything, it brought out the, not just the business side, but the behind the scenes of wrestling. You didn't see that before, in that scope.
Okay, yeah, that's another good
before
point.
The screw job happened, you didn't know Vince McMahon was the owner of WWF. You knew him as Vince. So, Anthony, I'm not sure if you knew this, but before, no one knew that Vince McMahon was the owner of the company.
Right.
Everyone thought Vince McMahon was just Vince McMahon, the commentator.
Right. Yeah.
You didn't know he was the owner of the company until all this stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
So that's huge.
I literally thought he like bought the company. He's like, this commentator bought the company.
Yeah, like that's what everyone like. So
what
like,
a dumb kid I was.
That changed a lot. Like now you're seeing all the behind the scenes stuff. Like there was no wrestling was so closely guarded. It was not. There was no breaking kayfabe. There was none of that stuff until all this stuff happened. So yes, it had a huge ripple effect for me anyway. I mean, as far as the wrestling business goes.
That's that's absolutely a good point. I forgot that like that was the first moment. So for sure.
Yeah, he like showed his ass, as I like to say around here. Like he showed he was the leader of that company. No one knew.
Vince has showed his ass figuratively and literally.
Yes, exactly.
And people have kissed his ass too.
Yeah. I would definitely. Have you watched
figuratively and
have you Anthony? Have you watched like Beyond the Mat or Wrestling with Shadows?
Yes.
Or anyone? Okay. That was like that was unprecedented as well because that's like you never seen anything like that. Like really behind the curtains of like. Now we're kind of used to it. We see like tons of documentaries and shit. Yeah. But back then, you're like, holy shit! You're like actually seeing like behind the scenes.
Wrestling with Shadows was a mind fuck for 14-year-old J-Bone.
Yeah, it was like because
what the fuck?
Everything was supposed to be like real. It's like it's all.
And you know what? Maybe my argument is coming from like the perspective of I'm used to it. So like when I'm hearing Marco, it's like like when you're putting it, absolutely. But it's like I'm so used to it at this point. It's like Wrestling with Shadows opened the door for like, more backstage stuff. Now we're just getting on social media, like just Sammy Guevara blogs, seeing him backstage with like fucking random people, like
fucking his wife and backstage.
Yeah.
It's got her bent over on the road case. Let's go.
But then, And then, like, the other part of that, too, is, like, obviously they played off of it with Stone Cold and Vince McMahon and stuff like that. But then you bring in CM Punk with the pipe bomb thing. Now, obviously, like, you've seen all this stuff. You see the behind-the-scenes stuff. But then he brought, like, a fourth dimension to it when he did that pipe bomb. Because he had no clue what the hell was going on. It wasn't behind the scenes you were seeing. It was someone taking behind-the-scenes stuff and putting it on their regular programming,
right?
So that was even more of a mind fuck.
And they use the Brett angle. They use a screw job for that Money in the Bank match too. Like they use that angle.
Yeah.
When Vince came out with Johnny Ace, and he's like, "Go make him ring the bell." Like that's part of why that match was so good.
Yeah, and then and I hate to give CM Punk that torch again, but he did it again at the scrum. Like that right there, like. People are still shocked. Like, even though you see this shit for years and years, like you see behind the scenes shit, you see people shit like talking everyone. But for some reason, that was still shocking to see that level of like. I think it was more because the AEW is supposed to be this happy place, rainbows and puppies, and everyone got along. And everyone was there's no feuds in the locker room. Everyone was. Giving hugs and kisses to each other.
It was like that.
Yeah, and then you get this guy to pull the curtain back and say, "No, there's empty-headed fucks at work here," and you're like, "Holy shit!" It's like he brought it back again. Like, yeah, you've been jaded for so many years, but then he brings it back, and you're like, "Oh shit, this could be real again." But yeah, went on a tangent there, but
you made great points.
I'll talk about it a little bit, but like that's a big part of my pod this week, and I also wanted to get your opinion.
Screwjob.
Like I said, I think it's if Marco didn't break it down like he did, I would have just been like, no, and obviously it changed my opinion now. Like I think I'm just so used to it now. Like starting to be a fan in 2010, right? That's when kind of everything.
Like like it really a lot of more stuff came out then, like in 2010, because Brett came back on
exactly.
WWE TV,
and I knew what was going on from the screw job, and I was like, even young back then, I was like, Sean, Brett, like I know, but it's like you don't really like you have to start learning about it to know all of that. Now, if you ask me what I think of the build up to the Montreal Screwjob. Well, that was fucking horrendous.
All right.
You can go and watch my review of the Montreal Screwjob's build and the match itself on Classic Match Classroom. I gave that an F, and I gave the match.
What?
I gave the match like a yes. What? I gave it
that match would have been
for
good.
The build. We've talked about it already. DX sucked in '97. Thank you very much.
We're live.
You're damn right we're live. I'm live. I got a live mic and it's hot.
Oh man.
Well,
sucks to suck.
Damn.
All right. Well, anyway.
Wait, I have one more question before we go.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys talked about it. Did you talk about Bray from Crown Jewel?
No,
we did not.
We don't talk about
Okay,
Bray.
can we talk a little bit about that? Because I had some thoughts.
Bray. Talk about Bray.
Let's talk about Bray. Okay, this was the only thing that I really wanted to address because I figured you guys talked about everything on Crown Jewel. It's still good stuff, but I said last week that Crown Jewel had to be the point where we like learn where this is going, and it wasn't.
No,
it's still the Uncle Howdy like. Who killed the world? Who killed the world? Who killed the world? Oh, the creepy video. Who killed the world? They got to go somewhere with this on Friday, or like it's a slow build. Yes, I understand. He likes the slow burn, and I still am very invested in the story. But you have to give something. The only thing that I took of note from that that whole promo was like. When he's like, I want to rewrite my ending of my story, man. I want to rewrite whatever, man. And it's like, okay, is it just going to be the Fiend again that you're like rewriting your wrongs? And that was a good story with the Fiend, but like now it doesn't really work because you've already beaten most of those guys to begin with. How much can you really do at this point? Are you rewriting the wrongs of the Fiend as yourself? Like, where does Bo come in? What's Uncle Howdy? We still haven't addressed that. We should have gotten something. It didn't need to be a reveal of Uncle Howdy or, whatever it may be, but it needed to be something. And the fact that it was just the same thing that we've been getting from SmackDown, again, it's fine that it's a slow build, but there needs to be more consistency to it. It's like if they do QR codes every week, it's like you need to give something different. So that was my thoughts on it.
I agree. Yeah.
That's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, he did call Bray Wyatt a liar, which
okay, he's been calling him a liar since the start. True. Like,
you're lying.
Dude, they should when he's out there, they should edit that and have Roman come in and go, "You're lying.
You're lying."
Yeah, oh my god.
Are you guys still high on this Bray segment? This whole Bray story, like it hasn't soured on you yet?
It hasn't. I'm still interested to see where it goes. It's still like you said, it's kind of like same thing every week, but at the same time, it's like you said, something something's gonna happen. It's like watching a movie. And like that has a slow build to it, and ending of it's going to be like a crazy twist. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm just expecting something really crazy to happen. But we did talk about before you jumped on my. I've watched that Logan Reigns match probably all week because my son's like obsessed with Roman Reigns. So he doesn't know he knows how to go on Peacock and find the match. So he doesn't know any other Roman Reigns matches.
Be careful. Be careful. Roman's going to be like, that's my son.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, pretty much. I mean, right now he is.
That Peacock that you're watching my matches on, that's my Peacock.
like I literally studied that match. Like I know when we were talking about it, I was talking about all the nuances, like Roman Reigns, like how confident he was at the beginning of the match that he was just going to beat this YouTuber to the end of the match where he's like, no more YouTubers.
Yeah,
I don't want him here. And then he's like holding his jaw, like, because there's it was just I studied that match because I've been sitting here watching it, but there's so many nuances and storytelling through that match. It was insane.
Joe Rogan versus Roman Reigns.
Oh boy,
let's go.
Look, helicopters. One thing that like I've picked up on in the past, but Crown Jewel sold for me. I think the one reason why I don't want Roman to lose this title until like after, WrestleMania next year is I don't think there's anything better in WWE right now. And it's going to sound dumb, but just hear me out. Than the euphoria of after Roman defends his title. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's just like a feeling to it of just like his music playing.
Yeah.
Like he's just walking up the ramp. Because no one beats Roman. I'm sorry. But it's just that moment that like he has the titles. He's got Paul with him. He just looks like, like even at like Clash of the Castle when he was with like Solo, like that to me is like the best moment of the pay-per-views because like there's nothing like it. I don't know.
Acknowledge me.
I don't know.
You know what it is?
That's just what I picked up on from this weekend.
What I picked up on it was it's that, he's not going to be champion forever. Right. And it's every single match, that euphoric thing that you're looking at is him coming to realize that like he escaped. He escaped that match.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like he's pulling you into that, like his feeling of like, holy shit, I made it out of this match alive. Like I was put through a table, through a frog splash. I was freaking Superman punched twice.
Right.
I was like just all this shit that's been happening to him throughout the whole match. Obviously, you want to see him lose at some point, but like it's him escaping it and him going like him looking back at the ring.
Yeah.
Like him even like I said, like they put each other over so well. Like he put Logan Paul over. Like Logan Paul was the biggest threat yet. Like even bigger than Drew McIntyre. Like whatever match he has and whatever when he takes from that match, that person is is in pretty much God mode because he did that. He's just like, holy shit, I almost lost. And like him, like, yes, my tribal. Like if you watch the end of it when on the ramp and Paul Heyman's holding the titles and he's like, yes, my tribal chief, this is your name, my tribal. And he like Roman's like not really crying, but just like he puts his head on the title, like on Paul Heyman's chest.
Yeah.
And he's just like, holy shit. Like he's just like it's like that clock's ticking for him. And he knows
and like think of like the last few pay-per-views. Like he beats Logan barely.
Yep.
Right. Beats Drew, has to get Solo's help.
Barely.
Brock, the whole SummerSlam match.
Yep.
Barely. I don't even remember what was before that, but
was that
he had a Riddle
Seth?
match in there.
Oh no.
Yeah,
was it?
It was Riddle. It was Riddle.
It was Riddle, yes. Barely. Another one.
Yeah.
Riddle almost won.
Match, and then
so like
Brock again.
Like you said, clock's ticking for the tribal chief, and he showed it at the end of every
I love that
match.
I think I think that is what I'm talking about when it's like the euphoria of it. I don't know.
You're like I said, he brings you in with me. You're like it's like a movie. It's like when you watch the end of a movie and you're with that character. You're like, oh, they did it or whatever.
Like
they
the
escaped.
end credits scene.
Yeah, and it's just him doing his end credits. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I won this time. I might not win the next time. So, but who knows? We'll see.
Well, all right. Well, I think it's that time, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
It's time to end the show, folks. Thank you so much for listening and or watching to another episode of the Rawdown. J-Bone, what do you got going on for coming down the aisle?
Well, before I plug, I just want to mention something real quick. This will probably be my last appearance for a little while.
Yes.
Got some personal things going on about the move. I got to pack. Yeah, it's not great right now. The packing situation is not great. So, but I'm not quite sure when I'll be back. But once I am back, unless I decide to hop on next week, but we'll see. But I'll be in the new studios, the Hammerstein Bone Room.
I love that.
Thanks to good old Mike Belcaster for that. But of course, coming down the aisle. And also, this will be the last week of coming down the aisle for a little while as well too. Just not gonna hear this sweet voice anymore for a little while, but it's okay. You can go back and listen to the other Rawdowns if you miss my voice. But coming down the aisle pod.com, definitely check out that, especially during the hiatus. You can follow me on Instagram. I'll be a little bit more active on that, and on YouTube. So I'll be active, TikTok, all that good stuff. Basically kind of just give you my thoughts on stuff. If you want to keep up with what the J-Bone's thinking of. But this week I've got my co-host of the list, Mr. Miles Weaver, the ultimate Miles. And of course, this past week we did top 10 Chris Jericho matches, but we also do a very, very specific breakdown of the screw job and get Miles' point of view, what he thinks about certain situations. And I mean, we're talking like, we're starting from like basically WrestleMania 11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And going from that way. So we talk a good bit, and I'll go pretty fast. Not like it's like we're sitting there breaking down every little thing, but and of course we watch the screw job match as well too. So listen to that, and just be on the lookout for whatever I got going on. I may pop up here and there. We might do a watch along with the wife or something. I don't know. We'll see. So just check it out.
I'm excited for that breakdown. It should be a fun listen. So
yeah, it's a very pro Brett breakdown because Miles is a Brett fan, but I kind of just let him go, and he made some very, 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 very good points that I didn't think of. So
awesome.
Anyways.
All right, Marco, what's going on with you?
Nothing much. ChickFoleyShow.com, obviously, to get all your all the shows. We do have a new episode out. We actually did it the day of Crown Jewel, or that night of. So we do a Crown Jewel recap. We review the Supreme Series 2. That is the AEW figures of Malachi Black and Kenny Omega. So listen to that. I have, I think, dropping tomorrow will be the 7th episode of Open Mic with my guests, the as we call them, the two bad Chads.
Nice.
The Tavern Daddies, as we like to call them, Chad and Sneed. So they both join me. It is a long episode. It's probably the longest out of all of them. It's almost about an hour and a half long because obviously it's the first time I'm interviewing two people at once as opposed to one. But it was definitely an awesome interview. Dropped kind of a bombshell on me that I did not know about them. I'm not going to give it away. Just listen to it. But we get into music, movies. We get into the origins of the Turnbuckle Tavern. We even break down the tavern members, not every single one of them, but like the OGs of the tavern members. I kind of get their perspective on each one of them fellows. So
did they talk about me?
I think we do. I think
nice.
Yeah, I think you come up afterwards. I think we kind of focus on like Hawk and Tom more than anything, and then how they came into play and all that stuff. How they met the Chads and all that stuff, and and that's when I got the bombshell from them. But definitely listen to that.
Right.
And then
bombshell.
Yeah, it's I'm not sure if it's a bombshell. You might know. They did say it was the first time that everyone's going to know about it, but
you dropped the bomb.
You just have to listen to it. It seems like every episode of the Open Mic, I always have someone say something that's pretty mind blowing. So,
do you force them to say it? Like
I get it. Well, pretty much, yeah. No, I have to keep the tradition going. So the next person I have to pull something out of them that nobody knows. But definitely listen to all those shows, and obviously Pod Foundation. That's where you all hang out. J-Bone probably won't be around the Pod Foundation for a little bit, like you said.
No, I'll be around. No, I'm not definitely.
No, we're removing you out of the
bye.
group chat because you're not
going
to be down, Jack.
Get fucked.
No, but yeah, definitely check out the Pod Foundation IG page for all your updates. And that's it.
Nice.
Tell me a lie and say that you don't go. Look in my eyes and tell me you would know. I realize I have to walk away. No more yesterday.
With just shots of Sean going like,
Yeah, guys, I gotta go find my smile. So
I lost a lot of things, but most importantly, I lost my smile.
I lost a lot of things, but I lost my smile along the way. I gotta go find it. It's not the Heartbreak Kid. And
I bet you are relieved of your duties.
His smile was at that bar where he met those nice young gentlemen that he had a fun time with.
All six Marines.
Yeah. They left a smile on the floor.
They picked it up and wiped their ass with it and dropped it back down.
Yeah, nothing much to plug on my end. Invictus has their Bronx show Sunday. Definitely take a look at it. It's going to be a good show. They crown their grand champion this weekend. We also have a Bronx street fight for the tag team titles. Milk Chocolate defends against Fight or Die. That should be a fantastic match. I'm looking forward to seeing that. You should be looking forward to seeing it on IWTV. Make sure that you get your subscription ready and watch the show. It's going to be a good time.
Internet Wrestling TV. I have my subscription to it.
What a great guy.
Great guy.
But anyways, that's going to do it for us here in the StreamYard. Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of Rawdown. If you like what you heard, I know that you did. Please make sure to support the Turnbuckle Tavern by going to theturnbuckletavern.com. That is where you can find all of the number one ways that you can support our show, all of our shows. Listen to the podcast, watch our videos, tune into the live streams, join the Discord, follow our social medias. Many different ways that you can join our community and help us out. Just reached over 1,000 subscribers. We are growing as the days go by. So we need more and more people that join the community. The better our wrestling conversations become. So make sure that you get your friends, tell your enemies.
Tell your enemies.
Taverns, wear it out.
That's right.
Get our merch too. Tell them to buy some merch while they're at it. ProWrestlingTees.com/taverns where they can get their Rawdown merch. Everyone's got a shirt here at the tavern. And we need some more Rawdown merch. So I'm sure we're going to be thinking of some ideas very soon. Teespring also has some shirts for you. If you want that Rawdown logo on a shirt, you can get it at Teespring by logging on to oh my God, I can't even talk. TheTurnbuckleTavern.com. It's getting late. Jesus Christ. Stickers, mugs, whatever you want. Finally, call the tavern. That's 304-404-2004 is the number to call to hear your message played on the flagship show. Call the tavern, leave us a voicemail, do whatever you need to do. Talk about the Rawdown. Tell us how much you're going to miss J-Bone.
Yeah.
Or tell them how much you're happy that J-Bone's gone. I'll be sure to give a call about that. 304-404-2004 is the number to call. Once again, that's 304-404-2004. Great episode tonight. I'm still your Rawdown champion. Feels good to be the champ. Always feels good to be the champ. And it always feels good to end off another great episode of the Rawdown.
You're the chumps.
We will see you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Folks, we will see you next week. Same time, same place. But until then,
Life sucks, and then you die.